Hey guys, it's James, TFB TV, and I've got something really exciting for you today. This backpack. Nah, I'm just kidding. I've got the Kel Tec SUB2000 Glock Mags Gen 2. That's right, brand new one. We're gonna take it for a spin on this episode of TFB TV. Took it out to the Louisiana swamp, sweat my ass off trying this thing out for you guys. You'll see that right away. Before I get started though, I wanted to say thank you to our newest sponsor, Grizzly Targets, the toughest steel targets on the market. And thank you, as usual, to Ventura Munitions. I hope you guys enjoy the review, check it out, leave a comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Hey guys, James again for TFB TV. Today I've got the brand spanking new Gen 2 Kel Tec SUB2000 carbine. Many of you are probably familiar with the Generation 1, that's right, the pistol caliber carbine that folds in half, this version accepts Glock 17 mags. But my initial impressions, very lightweight. This thing's, as you would expect from Kel Tec, a lot of polymer, so it's really lightweight, but it seems to be well constructed. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels pretty well made. You can see it's got the folding mechanism. There's a notch right here that retains it grips on, you can see, to the front portion right behind the sight and keeps it locked tight. Once you remove that, snaps into place, and then if you want to fold it again, you just lift the trigger guard slightly and then it folds right back, snaps into place again. Really neat. It folds down to, God, that is a loud osprey. Really neat, folds into a very compact package. And for you Glock owners out there, you've already got the magazines for it. You can use your 17 rounders, you can use your 33 round stick mags. Sights are pretty good. There's you can see there's a rear peep sight similar to like a Maytec. It feels like it's, this is polymer. Then you've got like a half hooded front sight post right here. So the sights are pretty decent on this thing. You've got a crossbolt safety. It's a little bit out of the way, but you can still manipulate it with your firing hand, so that's not so bad. Charging handle is right here in the back. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It takes quite a bit of tension, so it's a little bit awkward to have it under here and so close to the back of the stock, but you know, it works. You've got a right-handed magazine release, not ambidextrous, and it doesn't look interchangeable either. One slight drawback: no bolt hold open. You gotta manually charge it every time you go dry. In the Gen 2, Kel Tec added Picatinny rail above and below. You could definitely mount an aim point or an EOTech or something on this thing, but you gotta think about the fact that if you did that, you're not gonna be able to fold it in half anymore. So that seems like it's a nice feature, but I'm not sure everybody's gonna exploit it. But it is nice to have the rail underneath, so if you wanted to add, say, like an AFG or a flashlight or both, you got quite a bit of real estate here, so that's realistic. And you'll get to see me shoot this suppressed because there are 1/2x28 threads underneath this thread protector on the muzzle. Pretty cool. Stock and the stock retention nut are metal, so is the charging handle, the bolt, of course, and the barrel, but pretty much it looks like the front sight block is might be metal too. Yeah, the front sight block is aluminum, but most of the body is polymer. So again, very lightweight, and it's going to be exciting to shoot this thing. Let's try it out.
The SUB2000 redesign was actually pretty ingenious. They made several substantial changes. First of all, they made the stock adjustable to 3 different positions. It has an updated angle with a wider footprint and shark tooth gripping. It's got also the single point sling attachment and a webbing sling loop. And it's actually got, I didn't even notice this at first, a little bit of Picatinny rail on the bottom of the stock. Second, the bolt tube. They did a salt bath nitride finish to the bolt tube that they say adds lubricity and scratch resistant properties for the bolt tube. Third, the grip. They integrated a larger ejection port to assist with ejection, and they also added gator grip to this area. The Fore End was one of the most substantial improvements that they made. It includes top and bottom integral Picatinny rail standard, 5 Magpul M-LOK slots per side, which is pretty smart, and gator grip all over that too. Fifth, the front sight It's now constructed of aluminum, easier and more consistent controls for elevation and windage, and it can be removed to expose more thread area if needed. Plus, the redesign just looks cool as hell. Kel-Tec said they did the redesign for 3 reasons. First of all, they wanted to modernize it, which makes sense, and they made some great improvements to it. Second, they said that this is one of their more popular rifles, so they wanted to take some steps to be able to increase production volume of the rifle. And finally, they said that they integrated a lot of consumer feedback, which is always really cool for a company to do. The MSRP in the SUB2000 is $500.
All right, let's shoot this thing. So you pull this little, what would you call that? This tab. You pull this tab back. I like that, tab. You pull this tab back. You deploy the front of the gun. Like I said, charging handle is under here. It's a little awkward, but it's a nice charging handle, and it's a good place to put it. Keeps the whole package compact from the top down. So not bad. Let's see how it shoots. That's pretty nice. As I mentioned in the beginning, there's no bolt hold open, which is kind of a downer, and you have to manually charge it every time. But this thing shoots really well. The trigger's about what you would expect from Kel-Tec. It's nothing special. It's not bad. It's not that great either. But it's definitely a serviceable trigger. The recoil impulse is a little bit more than, say, like your MP5 or your Uzi, but those are substantially heavier guns. One of the huge advantages to this Kel-Tec is how light it is. That's what's nice about it. So I'm not going to hold that against the Kel-Tec. As far as the shooting experience goes, you can't lose sight of the fact that this really is a utilitarian gun. This is a good truck gun. This is a gun that folds in half. So you can't expect too much out of it in terms of shooting experience. However, there's nothing really wrong with it either. The trigger's okay. It feels fine in terms of recoil. It's really not that bad. It's just fun. You get your Glock magazines. You're shooting 9mm, which is cheap and still powerful enough to get the job done. This would actually make a pretty good home defense weapon. So here's something I absolutely love. From the factory with the Gen 2 P2000, you get 1/2x28 threads. So if you own a suppressor, this is big news for you. I mean, you would have had to at least spend money to get the factory barrel threaded. So the fact that Kel-Tec has already done that work for you could save you a couple $100, and it's a nice feature to have. I love it. I think it's a great idea. So I'm going to treat you guys to a little symphony by AAC. Not bad. Shoots fine with the suppressor. It actually is a little bit on the loud side out of my right ear, with the action being right here. Not as quiet as a pistol where you're holding it out in front of your face. Hey, and it still folds up into a pretty compact package. Yeah, this thing's really been a blast today. It's been great to shoot, but you got to remember you're not shooting the Cadillac of 9mm carbines here. I guess a better analogy would be to say you're shooting like the Jeep of 9mm carbines. This thing, it's very functional. It seems rugged. We've put hundreds of rounds through it today, throughout the day, and it's been 100% reliable. It's fun as hell, not to mention. And it's got some really well thought out features. The operation to take down and redeploy this gun works really well. And it locks positively in both positions, both deployed and not. So you don't have to worry about this Kel-Tec being folded up and then accidentally deploying. And hey, best part, if you've got a Glock 17, you've got the mags you need already. Also, if you remember my Magpul, the new GL9 magazine test, those are available to you now, and those are going to be 15 bucks a pop. So my final thoughts on the SUB2000. First of all, those of you who are already familiar with the SUB2000, you know what this is, you know what you're getting into, and chances are you probably love it. Kel-Tec has a winner here. I know they're going to sell these things like crazy. This is probably the perfect truck gun. The compatibility with Glock 17 magazines is genius. The improvements offered by the Gen 2 over the Gen 1 are also a nice touch, and it just looks cool. You really shut it down whenever you fold this thing in half. You show this to somebody. You know, I brought it to the range today and deployed it, and you know, of course, it makes everybody go nuts. They think it's the coolest thing ever, and it really is. The shooting experience isn't anything special, and for a 9mm, because it's so lightweight, it's got a little bit of kick to it. But again, it doesn't shoot poorly. It isn't like it has a bad trigger. It isn't like it's got killer recoil. It's a nice shooting gun. If you have to sum up this gun, it just works. It's reliable, it's practical, it's got a great utilitarian aspect in that it folds up. I know you guys are going nuts about this. This is probably one of the most exciting guns that I've reviewed for TFB TV at this point. Good for Kel-Tec. They've got a real winner here. And guys at Kel-Tec, thank you for letting me try it out. I really do appreciate the T&E gun. Hope you let me keep it. And I want to thank our sponsors again, Mike at Ventura Munitions, thank you, and Grizzly Targets, thank you for sponsoring TFB TV. To all you viewers out there, thank you for watching, and I hope you subscribe, and I hope you keep watching. Thanks again. Take care.